Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to APSAC's online support program. Today we will continue our chapter 5 part A, that is Ancient India, the Indus Valley Civilization. Resources required: textbook, notebook and blue gel pen. Introduction. In this lesson, we will revise in detail the significance of governance, trade, Indus Valley seals, and the decline of Indus Valley civilization. But first, thought of the day. History is not a burden on the memory, but an illumination of the soul. History is a vast field that comprises of all the events that happened in the past. Some of them are eye-openers, others are crucial for us to know in order to understand ourselves and enlighten ourselves so that we are better able to prepare for what and where we want to be. Our objectives for today are: students will be able to revise the prominent features of Indus Valley civilization and the depiction of governance, trade, Indus Valley seals, and the decline of Indus Valley civilization. Now let's start with the governance. Now, according to the historians, the Indus Valley people were mostly ruled by priests, and so, due to this reason, their religion and governments were linked. However, we also know that the Indus Valley civilization managed a widespread area, and therefore it was not possible for a single person to manage this whole area. And for this reason, there must have been some administrative systems in place in order to govern the large settlements. But since very few weapons have been excavated, it is also believed that this civilization was a very peaceful one. Now let's come to the trade. The Indus Valley people relied on trade, and there were three categories of this trading, that is intra-town, inter-town, and intra-civilization. Now, the Indus Valley people traded very far settlements like Persia, China, and Mesopotamia. The goods like terracotta, pots, silver, gold, and beads, and also colored gems like turquoise and lapis, metals, flints, seashells, and pearls. They seemed to have been in great demand. You can also see from the picture here about their gems. The evidences have also been collected about granaries that stored surplus grains. This we talked about in the previous lecture, that they stored surplus because they were mostly in the agriculture part. Now this proves a very strong and prosperous agrarian economy and shows a very strong administrative system. And this administrative system ensures the continuous supply for its citizens. So you can see very well here how much civilized and organized the Indus Valley civilization was. Now the Indus Valley seals. Now the Indus Valley seals were mostly square or rectangular in shape. You can see from the picture here different types of seals that were used in that time. They had intricate patterns and were made of different materials. And they were mostly carved in bronze or flint tools, and generally representation of some drawings or writings or some animal work was there. A very well depiction of it in the picture here. And these seals were mostly believed to be used for trading purposes. Now let's come to the decline of Indus Valley civilization. Now there may have been many factors that have caused the decline of this great civilization, but some of the possible ones according to the historians are: from the riverside, that is, the Indus basin dried up and people moved to other areas, and the river Indus also changed its course. We know that the basic reason for this civilization to settle down in these areas was because of the river. And so this was a major part for their movement. From land, some of the natural disasters like flood or earthquakes, these struck the area, and this also made people very devastated. Overcultivation, overgrazing, and deforestation of the land also forced people to move away. From the population point of view, an epidemic wiped out the whole population, and it was also wiped due to a foreign invasion. So a very large part of the population was finished due to these two factors. Now, Aryans were the basic foreign invasion that happened in its time. These were from Central Asia, and they attacked, and the force was too much for the Indus Valley civilization to bear. And they also forced them to leave deep into India. Now, the Indus Valley civilization were very peaceful mercantile community, and so they were very much unable to defend themselves against these Aryans. Let's have a little recap of what we have learned today. We have revised some of the prominent features of the Indus Valley civilization, its governance, they learned about its trade and seals, and also the causes of the decline of Indus Valley civilization. Now your task for today is, you need to read pages 51 and 52, and you need to understand the topics that have been covered so far. And from that, you need to do the following worksheet. This is the worksheet that you are going to do in your notebooks. So I hope this was all very much illuminating for you all. So students, take care of yourselves, your family. Thank you, and Allah Hafiz.